I'm going to go over 2 tickers on the 5-minute time frame and give you some price targets for Friday. This is high tide. We ended the day at $2.51, down 3.09%. This is where we are. You can't see the wick because when we closed out for the day, it did not appear, and then the trading session ended, so the wick didn't catch up to the price. But there should be a wick right here. So to the north side takes us to resistance at -2 standard deviations, and that is roughly 252. Above that takes us to this line, which is $2.59. Above that, at 2 standard deviations and another level of resistance and a potential take profit area at 266. Oops, let me get my cursor in the correct spot. 270 and roughly 273. I do not anticipate we get to this level on Friday, but perhaps down the road. Now, we are here, so -3 standard deviations and another potential buy-in area as well as a potential stop-loss area takes us to 249, and -4 SD is 245. So let me move this out of the way. On Wednesday, I looked at this and I thought, oh, I want to buy some more. And I was trolling this ticker and I thought, I'll buy it if price gets to -4 standard deviations, which is 246, and it went down to 245. I barely eked in, so I was so thrilled. I could have sold out for a 5% return, but I was very busy today, so I did not micromanage this, and now we started to go down a little bit. But the good news is the RSI appears to be turning around because we hit this critical line of 30, and that is oversold, means there's a little bit more value there. Ignore all the horizontal lines. Someone wrote me that and said, you need more lines and indicators. Well, I'm the one laughing all the way to the bank, but yes, I've already mentioned, and he probably has not been on watching my videos for a long time, I do not need any of these lines. These lines are not for me. I'm only leaving the lines on so that I can show you where we've been and where we're going. These lines also act as support and resistance, and that's why I leave it. But I do start to erase them when it gets, like for instance, right here, it gets close to lines that I've already drawn. So, you know what? I could just delete this just to clean it up a little bit. Not because that man said something, it's because I always do that. I'm not changing my trading style for anybody. That's why you have to trade the style that you like. Otherwise, it makes no sense. And this style has served me well. And I do pretty much everything overnight and in my sleep, and then I don't really get to look at it all day. All right, what else? So this was your clear buy signal, and I'm glad I got that in. I squeezed in. And then this is resistance. Resistance, take profit. And, oh, this is a tiny little gap. So wait, what is this? Okay. Apparently I already drew that out. We went up and then we touched to the south side. So that would be right there. I have not looked at this in a very long time. Clear resistance, resistance. Oh, and I'm going to set my sell order. Now, if I wanted to go and just be not, it doesn't matter. 266 is where I could set a sell order. But, when I look left and then I see this wick here, I'm like, why don't I eke out some more? And I'm going to put in a sell order at $2.68. And then if I hit this level, I'm just going to wait for it to roll over again and then buy in again. And this apparently closed to the downside. Like I said, I have not looked at this in a long time. 263, 263. And that's resistance. The middle of the trend here, the mean. what is this? I don't know what gap I was filling here. So we went